The Cambridge English Dictionary defines a bibliophile as a person who loves or collects books. According to 20 Odd Habits every bibliophile has, even if they won't admit it, bibliophiles are like their very own species. They share specific traits and traditions and have habits that can appear strange to outsiders. However, we're really just a misunderstood people. The article goes into the habits of an everyday bibliophile, like smelling books. Packing more books than clothes when going on vacation. Reading multiple books at once. Pulling an all-nighter to finish a book because you just can't wait until the morning. Spending hours on hours in a bookstore or library. And asking for books for literally every holiday. My personal observations revealed very bibliophilic actions supporting my research, like freaking out over dog earring and spine breaking. Constantly suggesting books. Hating book-to-screen adaptations. Obsessing over the organization of their bookshelves. And owning a ton of book merchandise, like shirts and pins, coloring books and novel notebooks. Book embroidery. And of course, a whole bunch of book pillows. That's right, these people are book nerds.
What makes you a bibliophile?
I would have to say the fact that I have allowed books to govern my life. Besides the fact that every day of my life is governed by books because I'm an English teacher, I also allow my personal life to be governed by books and who I am as a person. In 1994, I found my first copy of J.D. Salinger's Catcher in the Rye on the top of a garbage can in New York City. It just seemed meant to be from the very beginning. I started to read it and couldn't stop. This is not the copy I found in the garbage can. This would be my 7th, 8th, or 9th copy of Catcher in the Rye at this point. But it's very dear to me, along with this one.
Do you like to define yourself as a bibliophile?
Yes, I'd have to say that is pretty obvious by the fact that I wear jewelry and t-shirts. Here are my Great Gatsby earrings and my Catcher in the Rye hat, property of Holden. Here is my Of Mice and Men necklace, my Lenny and George. And of course, I always represent banned books.
What's your favorite book/genre and why?
Well, I'd have to say it's the classics. First of all, going back to banned books, all of these books have been banned at some point or another. It's very important that we read the classics because they offer the best advice. I mean, it's the day I became truly genuine when I decided I wasn't going to be phony after I read Catcher in the Rye.
Do you think you may be a little obsessed when it comes to book reading/collecting?
Yeah, I'd have to say I'm obsessed to end Catcher in the Rye. And maybe the mere fact that I've named my second born after Franny and Zoe might be a little obsessive. Oh, another Catcher in the Rye hat. I also have a baseball glove that my students all wrote poetry in.
Even in the smallest sense, why does your culture hate the mishandling of books?
Well, I guess it's because I was raised in a generation where you're supposed to take care of stuff. And since I like books, I wanted to take care of them. And, you know, if you do so, they last a long time. You know, they age like everything else. But I have a lot of books here that are pretty old. Like this book here, and I have another one around. Again, those are actually from World War II. Armed Services Edition. You don't find a lot of those, mostly because people didn't take care of them. Most of my books are from the 50s through the 70s.
Many people have started using ebooks and electronics to read. How does this make you feel?
Well, personally, it kind of makes me feel bad because I actually used to work for Borders Books, and when electronic books started coming along, it did kind of start hurting book sales. As a person who collects books, I like having something in my hand, something I can flip through, put a bookmark in.
How do you feel when people who haven't read a book enjoy its poorly adapted movie or TV show?
I think they're kind of stupid. I can't blame all of them if they don't really know the difference. I have a lot of books here that have made the movies. 2001: A Space Odyssey, Conan, Total Recall, Blade Runner, Minority Report. Some of them are fairly close, a lot of them are stupid. It's just really bad. There's a lot of detail and stuff that you're going to find in the book that they have to leave out of the movie.
Do you enjoy good book-to-screen adaptations?
I do. I actually really do enjoy seeing books come to life on the screen. I thought The Great Gatsby, both major motion pictures that were made depicted parts of the book that were really, really important and entertaining. I also have great respect, though, for J.D. Salinger's perspective that once you put a book on the screen, people are no longer able to have their own vision.
Why do you constantly reread books instead of read new books?
I think there's something really therapeutic about getting so in depth in a book that you can see it in a different way every time you read it.
As a bibliophile, how do you feel you contribute to society?
Well, I'm an English teacher of 22 years, so I'm pretty sure I'm having a huge impact on kids and books, or at least I hope I am.
Do you enjoy coming together with your culture for events such as book clubs and conventions?
I do. I'm in a book club right now that I thoroughly love. And I've gone to Great Gatsby parties. Going to hear authors talk about books has been really very much memorable experiences for me.
According to 15 quotes about books to use as your next #Bookstagram caption, these quotes on the power of books from famous readers and writers may convince the most stubborn non-readers to visit a library and try.
So, not only did my previous research and sources teach me more about the ways of the bibliophile, but I found even more interesting benefits to the culture. According to New Study Says Readers Are the Nicest People by Carrie Jurema, a new study of quizzes conducted by Kingston University in London actually determined that those who chose books as their favorite source of media were more likely to act in a socially acceptable manner. Most importantly, reading leads to life benefits like improved memory, reduced stress, and even a longer lifespan. Books also help you maintain better relationships. Do we really need any more reasons to live life with books? I don't think so. Now go read!